What's up, Mathletes? It's Mathlife here, and today we're going to talk about 3 ways to represent a linear relationship. Now, what are those 3 ways you might be asking? One of them is a table. One of them is a graph. And the last one is an equation. So, we have a table, we have a graph, and we have an equation. So, we're going to look at certain scenarios, and we're going to put those into 3 different forms. They mean the exact same thing, it's just 3 different ways to look at it. So, let's start with Heather and her piggy bank. Whoop, the piggy. At the start of the new year was filled with $30. Take that $30, throw it in the piggy bank. You know, right there, got it. $30. To make some more money, Heather got a job babysitting, which she earned $5 an hour. So it's filled with $30. She's earning $5 an hour. Let's review some of our independent, dependent variables. So what, and again we're going to change this, causes. Break that better for you so you can see it. C-A-U-S-E-S. What causes the other one to change? Well, in this case, she needs to babysit, so the number of hours causes her total money to change, right? The more hours you babysit, the more money that you make, okay? We're gonna represent this situation in 3 different ways. In a table, a graph, an equation. Let's start with the table. So remember this, our x's are independent, so it's always gonna go first. So our first part of the table is x. Our second part of the table is y. This is the hours, and this is the money. Now, I'm just making these values up right now. So they don't come from anywhere. Just help us out with the graphing. So we're gonna start with 0 hours, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3, 4, 5, 6, until we fill up the table. Now, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take our values in and we're going to figure out how much money she's making per those hours. So, if she started with $30, that means at 0 hours, she's going to make $30. At 1 hour, well, what's happening? Well, she's getting $5 an hour, so really, she has $35. So each hour she works, she makes an extra $5. So we continue through that pattern, $40. See if you can figure out this is the chart. Go ahead and do that now. Pause the video. All right, hopefully you paused it. 45, 50, 55, and 60. So that's what our table looks like for the first 6 hours. Now, let's put this into a graph form. So remember, this is our x-axis down here, and this is our y-axis up there. Say hi to Mr. Heisey. Hey, Mr. Heisey.
Hi, Mr. Stout.
And we take our graph, and let's put these in. So x is 0. We go to 30, so there's our first one. We have 135, so over 1 up to 35. Notice we kind of have to go in the middle and estimate where it's at. 240. I'll let you pause the video. Fill in the rest of the points. All right, 345, 50, and so forth, and 6. We can continue the pattern, but in our chart, it only goes to 6 hours, so we'll kind of stop there. One thing we want to make sure we have is labels. Don't forget, in our graph, we need to have labels, X and Y. So X is the number of hours, and our Y is our total money. So again, table and graph, 2 different representations, meaning the same thing. Our equation, the initial value, this is really the starting point. So it's the starting point. Where does our graph start? In this case, find the x is 0. Our starting point is $30. We had $30 in the beginning, so we started with $30. Our rate of change is how much we're changing per week. In this case, we're changing $5. $5 per week. So rate of change or initial value is the starting point. Rate of change is $5 per week. Now, how do we put all this into equation? Well, we're going to take y equals the rate of change times x. And again, those are unknown variables, plus the initial value. If I could spell that right, IV. So your equation is y equals the rate of change times x plus the initial value. Well, we know those values, so now we're just going to plug them in. So y equals, our rate of change is 5, add the x, plus our initial value is 30. So that equation is how we get the points on the graph. It's how we get the points on the table without just kind of adding 5 each time. So as a summary, this is 3 ways to represent a linear relationship. Remember, it's a table, a graph, an equation. And if you like these videos, don't forget to smash that like button, hit that little bell, ding for notifications, and math you later. Peace.